I'm back. Hello. You clicked on the video, so I gotta tell you about it. So, do you have a dog? Have you ever thought about wearing that dog's skin? That's what a furry is. Today I'm actually really excited about what we're talking about because I'm a furry. So I have full range to talk about all of this. Today we're talking about one of the most infamous groups on the internet, probably.
Well, the term furry refers to someone interested in animals with human qualities. Now, they dress up like this as a cartoon version of an animal. Now, we've heard there have been reports in Nebo Middle School that students are getting mistreated.
Let's think about it. Your classmates could possibly be furries. Your neighbor, a furry. Your doctor, maybe? This is just a disclaimer really quickly. I'm not talking about myself nor the people in the community that don't partake in any of these activities. This video is not to hate on furries. I love you guys. We are one, some of you. But instead shed light on the disgusting acts people get away with and make it seem kind of normal in the community. Do not harass any furries after this video, please. I do not condone bullying. Thank you, and please enjoy the video. So, if you clicked on this video, there's a 50-50 chance you don't know what furries are. So, let's explain what that is. Furries are individuals who are part of a certain subculture centered around anthropomorphic animals. You heard that right here. Anthropomorphic animals. Those are basically animals that have human characteristics, like walking and speaking and, twerking. And these interests can manifest in a lot of ways, such as fursuits, fursonas, which are just the idea of, your furry person thing. I can't speak. It's my first day back. They have social spaces like convention centers that they like to meet up in. Thank you. For many, it's a creative outlet and a way to explore your identity. For others, it's really simply a hobby. Hence why the furry community can be compared to like the anime community, and I guess that's it. Our main focus today is on the conventions I briefly mentioned earlier. Now, a furry convention is a large gathering of those wretched beasts. They're held in cities around the world, and they usually take place in hotels or convention centers over a weekend. Guess this is where we get into the stuff. Enter the infamous pizza furry incident thingy, and I will start this off by saying, I'm sorry, Mom, if you're watching this. I don't know if I'll be watching this one with you. This is about a pizza delivery gone horribly, horribly wrong. So, in October 2021, a known annual convention was being hosted by Biggest Little FurCon. And by that title, it really just already kind of sounds questionable. But, you would think this is another normal furry convention, or as normal as they can get. Stickers, patches, collectibles, meeting friends, sharing memories. Kind of a beautiful way to spend your time with friends if that's all what you're into. But on the night of October 24th, 2021, somewhere in a hotel room, there were some degenerate fucks plotting. Let me set the scene. Only 5 days before this furry convention was supposed to go down, somebody by the name of Maned Wolfie, they tweeted about, give me a second. Can I post this on YouTube? Oh, they're gonna demonetize me. And I'll have to go back in the basement again. And I should stop repeating everything you're telling me. They posted about a pizza party. They had multiple tweets and even a slideshow, letting everyone know about this pizza party. I'll get to it. So apparently, 19 individuals showed up to this pizza party. To make things worse, it was a Papa John's pizza too. If you don't know about Papa John's, he got canceled because he said the N-word over a phone call.
What bothers me is Colonel Sanders called blacks niggers. I'm like, I've never used that word. And they get away with it.
And we've had 3 goals for the last 20 months to get rid of this N-word in my vocabulary and dictionary and everything else because it's just not true. It's just not true. Not true.
But, Papa John's isn't too good to begin with, but I guess they weren't liking the flavors, so they decided to add their own from their bodies. They nutted on the pizza. Oh god, I know. Stop. They just violated it. Someone went as far as taking a nibble. Were you that hungry? And apparently, there's a video of the whole thing. I survived and I did not watch it because I have free will, and why would I do that to myself? You know, I like this YouTube channel. I'm not doing that for you guys. I'm not suscepting myself to that. After they were done, instead of being not normal, but instead of what would the normal thing? None of this is normal. They just left it outside. They didn't even throw it away. I was gonna say like they like a normal person. None of this is normal. They just sat it out front of the door. Out front of their hotel door. You wanna know what this person does in their spare time when they're not hosting Diddy pizza parties? They make furry porn. Who would have thought? You're probably wondering, somebody must have talked about this. What was the reactions online? You know, the internet's a weird place. So, of course, there's the good people that decided to say this was wrong and disgusting, but there were also people that were on his side. And, just all for it. Just all for the pizza. They wanted their own pizza party. They wanted a part 2. Allegedly. But, you know, people's obvious problem, other than the violation of the pizza, was the fact that they didn't want this reflecting on the furry community, which is understandable, but as you can see now, it's still an ongoing story, and it's pretty famous. But like, what the hell, man? How does one even think? Well, I can't. Next. If you're liking what you see, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and turn my post notifications on. The notifications won't be annoying, I promise, but they are worth turning on. You can also follow me on Instagram. Alright, back to the video. Just when you thought conventions couldn't get any more tragically absurd, we moved from the pizza incident, which, mind you, left emotional scars more than real ones, thankfully, to an event more mind-boggling. It would make even the most, seasoned first responders question their life choice. Enter chlorine gas attack. Furry. Attack. Gas. Yes. Yes. Furry gas attack.
19 people were hospitalized at a furry convention in Illinois after what's being called an intentional leak of chlorine
What's
gas.
a furry convention?
Did I get that wrong?
Oh, gosh.
Okay. Officials were called when a strong odor of chlorine spread.
I think they had to evacuate the building and everything. Sent the hotel guests along with convention attendees into the cold night, many still dressed in their furry costumes.
Nothing like a little chemical warfare to go with my inflatable furries. I'm sorry. At the time, Midwest Furfest was the second largest furry convention in the country. And that says a lot, because the United States is really big. With over 5,400 attendees, I really have a problem with pronouncing things, so forgive me for this, but it did take place in Hyatt Regency O'Hare Hotel. I think I did that right. In Rosemont, Illinois, from December 5th to December 7th. It was a chilly December night in 2014, and the city of Rosemont was blanketed in frost. But inside the Hyatt Regency, things were anything but cold. Thousands of attendees in colorful suits and tails and buttons and gizmos and gadgets and doohickeys. But just after midnight, the celebration turned into chaos. The celebration turned into chaos. A strange, sharp smell began creeping through the air. Something pungent, chemically wrong. You know, like your mom. Within minutes, people were coughing, gasping, stumbling out of the room with watery eyes. Emergency lights flashed, alarms blared, hazmat teams rushed in, and the whole hotel was evacuated into the frozen night. The culprit? A deliberate chlorine gas attack. Yep, you heard that right. A chlorine gas attack. Real quickly, I'm gonna Google what chlorine gas does to the body in a short period of time. Give me a second. So, chlorine gas is an irritant and a corrosive substance that causes burning and damage to the eyes, skin, and respiratory tract, leading to symptoms like coughing, shortness of breath, and potential lung injury or death at high concentrations. That's pretty serious. Somebody had broken a container of powdered chlorine in the stairwell, turning something that should have been joyous and fun into something a lot worse. To this day, the attacker has never been caught, which leads me to conspirize and think that it was maybe one of the workers that did not like furries. Maybe this was a hate crime. Can furries be hate crime? Thinks this is a dumb question. Don't answer that in the comments. But for many, the memory still lingers, not just out of fear, but how close the community came together that night. This was definitely one of the most weirdest crimes in the fandom history. As this is a wild story, before we wrap everything up, let's run through some honorable mentions. So for honorable mention number 1, we have Rainfurrest 15. If you thought chlorine gas attacks were wild, they are, but I'm going to talk about something else. Nothing prepared me for this research I did for this specific incident, and I don't think the fandom was prepared either. So only a year after the chlorine attack, mind you, that happened in 2014. This happened in 2015. Flooded hallways, drug overdoses, trashed rooms, and overwhelmed hotel staff struggling to keep everything under control. Attendees were caught between shock and disbelief as Rainfurrest fell apart in front of them. For some, it was hilarious. For others, it was definitely a disaster. Who was responsible? And how did it all get so wrong? Let's find out. This total meltdown was held in the Seattle Hilton. The con fell out of control due to loose rules, drunk attendees, and straight-up vandalism. Fursuiters acted like rules didn't apply, and herd mentality quickly took over fast. People were doing drugs and overdosing, breaking elevators by kicking the buttons in and prying the doors open. Someone even unscrewed toilet bolts. Yes, they unscrewed the bolts on a toilet, flooding parts of the hotel servers were in with sewage. One guest literally got launched off a toilet because the sabotaged plumbing. Imagine just trying to take a shit. And you already have to have this fursuit on, so you take your fursuit off, you sit down, you try to flush. Disaster. Disaster. It's not even flushing because that's just home. Hot tubs were destroyed, food and trash were everywhere, and there was furries in diapers. Yeah, that's a thing. The fire department was called, plumbers were called twice, and at a certain point the Hilton taped this onto their door, basically just telling them to get out! Estimated damages? About 100,000 to 150,000, you know, nothing crazy. The con was banned from the hotel, and Rainfurrest never came back. But finally, we're talking about Dashcon, the crown jewel of event planning, where dreams went to die. That's it. So, Dashcon was a fan convention. This was held in July 11th through the 13th in 2014. This was in Illinois, targeting users of blogging platforms like Tumblr, in the fandom communities like Doctor Who to Sherlock Holmes, because that was big at that time. I was like 9, so this wasn't really a furry convention, but honorable mention. It's an honorable mention. Don't say anything. With the target audience so big, you'd expect at least 6,000 or 7,000 people to show up. And you would also expect a pretty extravagant layout. But sadly, only a few hundred actually ended up showing up. And instead of cool, fancy stuff on the inside, there was just a tiny, inflatable, little kiddie pool. I think it's a child's backyard toy. And mind you, this is an empty conference room, so it looks really sad. Like, this is just really... But to add on to the chaos, after being greeted in an empty vendor hall, and confused staff and a little kiddie pool, the soothing sound of a $17,000 financial crisis was heard over the mic.
We currently have a donation button up on our website, and any little bit that helps. Anything helps for us to stay here until the rest of the weekend.
Thanks guys, we're at 17,000, but we still need a little bit more to mission to 20. We're working so hard and you guys have been so great, thank you so much.
But don't worry, they promised it was all fine. Just donate your life savings through PayPal real quick so we can get this whole thing going, you know? Oh, and that thing you came here for, welcome to the Night Vale, yeah, that part, yeah, that's canceled.
I know you guys have been waiting for an extremely long time, but unfortunately what I have to tell you guys is that basically Night Vale just walked.
But to make up for it, I will let you get another hour in the ball pit that's sitting lonely over there. You want to get in it? It's kind of fun. The ball pit kind of became a symbol of how poorly this whole thing was ran. It was kind of just a big slap in the face to everybody that paid for it and then got begged for more money while they were even there. So, I don't know. Let's get on to the outro. Furry conventions, like any other large gatherings, can sometimes pose safety risks, whether that be overcrowding or inexperienced organizers or individuals who don't represent the community well. These events are generally welcoming spaces that foster creativity and connection. It's important for attendees to stay aware and take precautions. Ultimately, the furry community is very diverse and mostly positive from my interactions, with the occasional issue. Look at that. You don't ever want to see that guy. These issues should not overshadow the fun and safe experiences these cons can offer. At the end of the day, it's important not to judge the entire furry community, like I said at the beginning of the video. It's only important to judge Playboy Cardi fans. The vast majority of them are just people coming together to celebrate creativity, friendship, and self-expression. So before jumping to conclusions, remember to look beyond the headlines and even get to know one of us before you start casting judgments. And as a furry, I hate all of you. Love you, bye!